We'd like to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Northwestern Mutual, Eves Financial Group.
Hey Augusta, it's Abby Mufeld with Chronicle Media over at AugustaChronicle.com. Today we're hanging out at Magnolia Manor, which is a hospitality venue for folks who are here visiting us during Masters Week. The executive chef here, Dave McCluskey, is going to be showing us how to make one of his favorite recipes, which is actually a Native American recipe that's perfect for the fall. Things are going to get a little bit corny, but I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's go in and meet Dave. I'm here with Dave Smoke McCluskey, a Mohawk chef, that's going to be showing us how to make a soup.
Iroquois corn soup, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thanks for asking.
I'm really excited. So tell me a little bit about what you're going to be preparing for us.
What we've started is we've started out with some dried corn, and we've nixtamalized it overnight, which means we've processed it. Yes, this would be the corn over here, dried corn. So we've cooked it for an hour, a little bit of hardwood ash. This one would be a hickory ash that I got from a friend's barbecue place. We've sifted it, and then we boiled some water, and we've added the two together, and we've let them cook for about an hour. I let them sit overnight on top of the stove, and this is what we wound up with this morning.
Okay.
You can see the skin still peeling off. This is generally, sometimes it's a travel dish, so if we've got it to this point where we've cleaned it, we can dry it again, and then we carry it around, and we can add whatever we find in the woods, or find while we're traveling and hunting. So this is always the base of the soup, of a very traditional or daily soup. So we'd use this. We use a little bit of this that's been ground or it's been roasted and then ground again to thicken the soup. So it's almost like a grits consistency to add a little bit of flavor back in, but it's just corn that's been smoked over the fire a little bit, dried out over the fire. So we're corn tipping.
Okay.
So we're taking the tip off of the corn. It's inedible, and what that does is it lets us get water, so it hydrates back into the corn kernel itself faster when we cook it. So we're just knocking those tips off, and then we'll rinse them again and rinse all the tips out, and then we'll start our soup.
All right, perfect. Sounds great. I can't wait.
Great. Okay, what we're going to start out here is a little bit of olive oil. We're going to add some smoked bacon. I'm going to render this bacon a little bit. I'm a little hot here right now. Key thing with this is you can either use a little bit of ham or ham hock if you'd rather. But you want it nice and smoky because you're actually using it for the flavor. We'll render that for a few minutes, and after that we're going to add this pork to it. So pork over here, I'm just going to start adding it to it now. This is a pork tenderloin from Savannah River Farms. I try to use humanely raised and slaughtered meat. As close to organic as you can get it. Getting organic meat sometimes is cost prohibitive for doing a lot of things, but they do a nice job at Savannah River Farms, that's LED. What I'll tend to do is I'll pull a little of this bacon back over on top so you still have a little bit of cooking. Free up a little space for the pork to brown. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. You want to brown your garlic and not just throw it in there raw. So I just added the onions. I'm going to add the leeks next. We're going to let those wilt a little bit. Alright, so we've added our onions and our leeks and our bacon and our porks in there. We've brought that down. And Everything's a little bit translucent now. The garlic's cooked. From there, we're going to add our corn. Oh, let's take the other corn. Shoot. We're going to add our corn. Today we're using lady peas. Last of my lady peas from Belinda Walker. My favorites. You can use any type of bean in here, it just has to be rehydrated. So, give that a stir. The hard parts of this are done. In a second I'm going to add a little bit of broth to this, and then we're going to let it simmer. Alright, we're going to add a little bit of our smoked pork broth. Salt and pepper, or a lot of salt and pepper. You don't have to add salt to it, but obviously it's a grain, so like anything else, you're going to want to have a little bit of salt in there. It's going to taste pretty bland no matter what you do to it. All right, so the last part of this, before we add our other herbs, is traditionally, some natives would use cedar or spruce as a seasoning or as an herb. Not having any of that immediately around here. We're using rosemary out of my garden, so it's all organic. We're gonna singe it and bring the oils out a little bit, and we're gonna get a little bit of that woodsy flavor into the soup itself. This is also a prayer, if you will. Our other herbs in. Parsley, thyme, and sage. And then the rosemary. Basically you got a poultry seasoning there. So if you want to buy the seasoning packet of fresh herbs, you can. That's it. We're just going to let it simmer. Bring it to a boil, let it simmer. About an hour, hour and a half. And it'll be done. That's it, the done dish. Pork, a little bit of bacon, corn, beans. We've garnished with roasted pumpkin seeds and roasted pecans, which are very traditional to have in native soups. Add a little bit of protein, a little bit of flavor.
This is actually a masterpiece. Has anyone ever told you you should do this for a living?
A few.
I mean, you're the colonel of the kitchen.
Oh boy.
Well, guys, look how beautiful this is. I'm sure it probably tastes way better than it even looks. So, you ready?
Dig it.
All right, cheers. Oh, that bacon. I'm making sure I get a big bite of bacon. Oh my gosh. The corn is so soft. When I was touching it earlier, it was, harder, so it really did soften up.
An hour on the stove. You can leave it a little longer if you like it even softer.
Oh my gosh, all the flavor.
Starts to get mushy.
There's so many flavors in my mouth right now. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for sharing
You're
this
welcome.
with me. This is really a masterpiece. It's amazing. Amazing. Sorry, I had to. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today.
Thank you.
It's been an awesome time. So please come back and watch us again at Cooking from the Heart in Augusta.
Thank you.
Thank you again to our sponsor, Northwestern Mutual Eves Financial Group.